Hi everyone, this is Nikki Rowland and today I have a layout to share for Lottie Loves Paper. I am using the fabulous No Limits collection by Coco Vanilla Studio. Love this collection, it's just so good for boys. So I have this really silly photo of me and my boy I've had it actually printed for a while, but I thought that finally I'd get around to scrapbooking it. So this kind of sums him up, always messing around, pulling silly faces, so great fun. So, okay, I'm starting off with some circles that I've cut using metal dies from the No Limits paper pad. I've got the 6x8 paper pad, and I've got these straws that a friend gave me. So I've got, I think, 2 or 3 in this colourway, which is green and orange. And it reminded me of No Limits. So I thought, you know what, I'm going to give it a go and try and use these straws on this layout with the No Limits collection. So we'll see how it turns out. But good fun. So I thought, taking inspiration from the colour of the straw, the green and orange, I've gone for orange stenciling. That's a stencil by Bramble Fox. And I'm going to attempt to add green stenciling. However, what happens is the green ends up going over the orange, and green and orange don't mix particularly well in terms of blending. They must be opposites on the colour wheel rather than next, which would kind of get like a browny, muddy colour, not lovely. So I was not that overly happy with the result of that, and I thought, well, do I do it again, or is there any way I can save it? So the green is there, but I'm going to go over it again with the orange, which is a much brighter colour. The green is like a sagey type green. I do have a really lime green too, but I wasn't sure about using that one, so I thought I'd stick with the orange. So I've gone really really bright again over the orange, and you can only see a little bit of green there. But I do have the two-tone effect I was after. It's just the colours aren't brilliant, but that's because of my colour choices rather than the technique itself. But yeah, there you go. So I'm going to stick those 3 circles together. I've got a doily in there too in the mix, and I've chopped off one edge and put that on the edge of the layout, and then all the sunbeams are coming out of the circles. I'm going to add the straws. So I started off by cutting one of them into 2 pieces, and I'm planning to pop that underneath my my photo. But of course, straws are quite thick, so therefore you've got to work out how to then attach your photo on top of them, unless you want them photo free. Yeah, so it was a little tricky. They are quite bulky, and I wasn't quite sure how to deal with them. I thought that it might be nice to wrap some thread around the straws, which is what I'm looking for in that tin at the moment. You can see my other straws are in there. I thought it'd be nice to tie them together, wind the thread around them. But anyway, I did do that, and then by the time I had got them in place, actually you couldn't see any of the thread anyway, so this was a kind of a pointless exercise. But I thought it would look nice, and it did look nice, especially I've used a silver thread, and it does look really nice. But it all ends up being completely covered, apart from a little trailing end. But I really liked the look of the thread, so I have added some more of it in later as well. So I've gone for another straw. I've trimmed it down slightly, so I've now got 3 stems of straws. 3 pieces in a row, and together they make a fairly sturdy base for the photo. They're all different lengths, and the short one doesn't show at the bottom. Now I've got these chipboard pieces from the No Limits chipboard sheet. So by stacking those offset on top of each other, that gave me another platform to the right of the layout where my photo is nearly as high as the straws, so my photo could sit on top and it had something more sturdy to attach to. On the left, I've only got 1 piece of chipboard, which I've cut so it doesn't go on top of the straws. It's because there's only 1 layer, it's not as high. So it does help though, because that's on top of the circles, so there's a little bit of depth there too. So anyway, that was how I kind of tackled trying to raise up the areas either side of those straws, so that I had somewhere to attach my photo to, rather than just have it stuck to the straws themselves. So that's how I gave it a go. It's not perfect, but you know, it's better than what it was So yeah. Okay, so now I'm just going through and figuring out what other embellishments I want to use. I've pulled a load of things off of the chipboard sheet. I've got some ephemera out, and I've also got the sticker sheet. And then I've also got the little enamel dot type things. I've got a number of items that I want to try and use, and it's just a case of arranging them. The layout itself is, this giant cluster over on the left-hand side of the layout. So I have to decide if I want to create another cluster on this layout. It's an awful lot of white space on there. And actually, while I like the look of that, it goes against the fact that I've been trying to use more pattern paper on my layouts rather than just everything being a white background. I have done really, really well at that. I'd just like to point out that I have done that a lot. So it's okay for me to make a layout which is a white background. I'll allow myself some leeway sometimes. So yes, I have. I do decide that I'm going to put another cluster on. Initially, I put it down at the bottom, and I really like what that looks like. But as I added to the layout and put more and more and more things on it, the cluster at the bottom then got a bit lost and didn't look right because it was just a bit too busy. So actually, I end up moving that cluster at the bottom and putting it over top right. So effectively, the starbursts are coming out towards that, and it links together quite nicely with a few splatters as well. So that's what I end up doing there. But you've got to try these things out. Try it on for size, see if it looks okay where it is now, and if not, then move it somewhere else and see what that looks like. So that's what I did. Right now I'm adding that thread in I mentioned earlier, some twiddles of thread underneath the photo, and got that sticking out. I'm going to get my photo stuck in place now and adding these label stickers. Again, I have issues with levels because I think they were stickers, but I think they are. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they're stickers. But I had to raise them on foam pads because I've got the chipboard in the way. So they're going to sit on the very skinny part of the chipboard. And then, of course, they don't have enough to stick to. So I need them to stick either side, but of course it's not flat and it's really quite raised because it's two pieces of chipboard on top of each other. So I had to double foam pad each end of those little labels. And when I say double foam pad, I mean 2 layers of foam pads, not just 2 foam pads at the end, 2 layers. And that sorted it. They sit there and they're pretty secure and steady. So I'm happy with how that is looking. Just getting my photo completely stuck down. My frames I had to stick down with glossy accents to make sure they were more steady, but of course it wasn't dry, so that's why they keep moving and I keep putting it back into position. But now, a couple of days later, it's all stuck and not moving at all. Okay, so pretty much all those bits and pieces there are stuck in place. Now I just need to have fun adding all the extra bits. So I have these fabulous perspectives by Bramble Fox. I can't remember what they're called. They might be like geometric shapes or something. Anyway, there's circles with stars and arrows, and there's triangles, yeah, they're just really good fun. I love the green and the turquoise colorway. Perfect for the No Limits collection. So I grabbed myself a pack of those, and I'm just going to add them. Normally when I get my Bramble Fox Perspectives, I sit and peel them all, but I haven't done that this time. So that's why you see me peeling the bits off whilst making this layout. So sorry about that. I must be more organised next time. So yeah, I'm just playing around. The green is quite intense. So I had to bring in some other green. I've just punched a few circles from the lime green journaling card or paper from the No Limits collection, and added those to the layout. So I've got one bottom right and one slightly to the left of the photo. So added those to bring a bit more of the green colour in. I did consider mounting my photo on green, but I decided against it in the end. I thought it would look better as it was against the straws. And now I want to fussy cut a few stars. I do love the stars paper. It's just awesome, isn't it? I've got 2 sheets. So question, do I fussy cut 2 lots of stars? Because one sheet, that's all I've got left, pretty much mostly gone now. So I could fussy cut the other one as well, or I could save it and use the other side. I'm not quite sure. Anyway, right, they're all fussy cut and now attached to the layout. And you can see that I've moved that cluster up to the top right and added some stars there as well. So the 2 embellishment clusters are kind of reaching towards each other, which just provides a bit more flow to the layout. However, I had stuck those layers, those semicircles, in place at the bottom, and when I took them off, I have roughed up the bottom. I've roughed up the cardstock a little bit where I've had to take them off. So I decided to stick a sticker there, just a little label sticker that says the original and the best. And I don't think it looks odd. I think it would be better without it, but I say it was a little bit rough there. I could still take it off actually because it's not that bad. So yeah, anyway, all finished now, pretty much just going to add some splatters of, I've got black paint there going on. I have to be a bit brave when you're splattering black paint, but yeah, just splattered it around the big cluster and the little cluster, and then I'm coming in for some finer splatters as well with my paintbrush. Didn't quite have enough paint, so I had to pump some more out, but yeah, a few finer splatters around there, covering my photo obviously. And then up towards the top too, and that is my layout done, complete, finished. Although I haven't written any journaling on, and I can't do it now because I've splattered. So I'll have to do that later. So there we go, all finished. Really fun layout, a bit crazy, but really fun to make. I really enjoyed making it. I love the stenciling, and everything about the No Limits collection is just awesome. So it just comes together really easily, doesn't it? So yeah, thank you so very much for joining me today. That was Nikki Rowland for Lottie Loves Paper using Cocoa Vanilla Studio No Limits.